Welcome to Planting Joy Garden. It is a cool early morning, and we are going to do a feeding of this tomato plant. You notice that the leaves are losing a little bit of its color, and it is extremely bright outside, so I don't know if you can really see, but there's fruit all over. The fruiting is in various stages, and this plant, it's time to do a feeding. I did an emergency nitrogen. So I used fish fertilizer and it helped. So now I want to feed it with something more long term and gentle. Fish fertilizer is high in nitrogen, it has some phosphorus in it, it has some calcium, but I do want to add just a little bit of bone meal. And for the sake of balance, something that is organic, slow releasing, I am going to add a little bit of worm castings. So follow along as I feed this tomato plant. So what I'm actually doing here, I would consider it to be side dressing. I do have some marigolds that are just now starting to germinate. I don't know what's going on. Guess I didn't have warm enough soil temperatures. So first I added some bone meal. Bone meal help with providing phosphorus and also calcium. And as you know, have to be kind of gentle scratching this in because as I mentioned, I do have some marigolds just now germinating under here. So I'm just scratching it in with my fingers. You know, the marigolds will benefit from the worm castings and the bone meal because it's a flower. So the bone meal is so that I can get bigger bigger blooms and bigger roots, as it says in the pack. That's the whole purpose of bone meal. And it's providing a real high middle number, that middle number, NPK. So we're getting more phosphorus, which the plant needs to prevent problems like bloom problems. And there isn't a whole lot of uh, nitrogen here, but as you can see, it has the phosphorus and the calcium, which is what we need for tomatoes. And I also have some worm castings, and you see the worm castings are just totally balanced. I didn't want to add a whole lot of nitrogen, sorry about the airplane, but I want something that could release slowly because I did give an emergency feeding of nitrogen using um, fish fertilizer. And now that it has been scratched in, I'm going to water it in. Okay, so gently water it in. And I'm doing this early morning. It's nice and cool. It's about 75 degrees. Um, and even though we have good sunlight right now, I get morning and early afternoon sun. So it will be shaded here. So my plant will not be in intense sun all day. Nor would I recommend fertilizing anything in the brightest part of the day or the hottest part of the day. So it just happens to be bright, but it isn't hot. So I felt comfortable fertilizing. And like I said, I'm using bone meal and worm castings. There is no way either of those products could burn anything. So here we go. So this plant should continue to produce for me. It's the end of July, heading into August. You may want to just look at the overall health of your plants, how they're producing, look at the color of the leaves, and decide if you need to do some kind of fertilizing. either organic, inorganic, worm castings, fish fertilizer, bone meal, whatever you choose to use. If you've had containers, you may need to just go ahead and feed those containers to keep your plants producing. Have an amazing day. Thank you for joining me in the garden. Go plant some joy.